Good morning, my dear friend. Let me begin with a simple question. Have you ever noticed your mornings feeling heavier lately? Maybe it's taking longer to get out of bed. Your legs feel stiff. Your thoughts feel slower. The stairs look a little steeper than they used to. And you quietly ask yourself, am I just getting older or is something else going on? You're not imagining it, and you're certainly not alone. There's something about our morning routines, those tiny things we do on autopilot that can quietly take a toll on our body, our mind, and even our life expectancy. Especially after the age of 60, those little morning habits begin to matter more than ever. But here's the hopeful part. Most of these habits can be changed, gently, easily, and often with big results. In today's video, we're going to talk about 7 morning habits that many people over 60 do every single day without realizing they could be shortening their life. These aren't dramatic things. These are quiet, invisible habits, the kind that sneak in over time and slowly chip away at your strength, your memory, your balance, and even your mood. And just to be clear, this is not about blame. If you've been doing these things, don't worry. That's what habits are. They're automatic. We don't think about them. We just do them. But once you become aware of how these habits affect you, you can choose something better, something kinder to your body, something that brings you more energy, better sleep, and steadier steps throughout the day. Because aging isn't just about slowing down, it's about choosing more wisely. It's about learning how to support your body in a new way, one that honors the wisdom you've earned and protects the strength you still have. So let's walk through each of these morning habits together. Slowly, gently, one by one. I'll show you what they are, how they quietly affect your health, and most importantly, how to change them in a way that feels easy and natural. Because this is not about doing more. It's about doing less of what drains you and more of what lifts you up. Let's begin with the first habit, and it's one most people overlook completely: skipping water upon waking. Here's something many of us do without even thinking. We wake up, get out of bed, and go straight to coffee or tea, sometimes without even taking a single sip of water. It might not seem like a big deal. After all, we've slept all night. What difference could one glass of water make? But here's what really happens while you're sleeping. Your body is working quietly behind the scenes, repairing tissue, balancing hormones, cleaning out waste. And during all that time, 6, 7, sometimes 8 hours, you're not drinking any fluids. That means by the time you wake up, your body is naturally dehydrated. Now imagine trying to walk, think, and move around on a dry engine. That's what your body feels like when you skip water in the morning. And for seniors, dehydration isn't just uncomfortable, it can be dangerous. Studies have shown that even mild dehydration in older adults can increase the risk of stroke, fatigue, dizziness, and even confusion. Your brain needs water to think clearly. Your muscles need water to move smoothly, and your heart needs water to keep your blood flowing gently. When you skip that first glass of water and reach for coffee instead, you're asking your body to perform without any lubrication. And coffee, while comforting, can act as a mild diuretic, which means it might actually make you lose more water. So here's the gentle change. Within 10 minutes of waking up, have a full glass of room temperature water. Not too cold, not too hot, just clean, plain water. You can even squeeze a bit of fresh lemon into it or add a tiny pinch of sea salt if you want to help your body absorb it better. That one glass helps rehydrate your cells, flushes out toxins, and gives your metabolism a gentle boost to start the day. Many seniors who adopt this habit say they feel clearer in the morning. Their bowel movements are more regular. Their knees feel less stiff. Their energy lasts longer through the day. You don't need to drink a gallon, just one glass every morning before anything else. It's a small act of kindness your body will feel almost instantly. Let's move now to another quiet habit that seems healthy on the outside, but may be doing more harm than good. The sugary breakfast trap. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. We've all heard it. But what we're rarely told is that the type of breakfast we eat can either fuel our body or drain it slowly. Now, let me ask you, what do you usually have for breakfast? Many older adults think they're eating healthy when they choose yogurt with fruit, cereal with milk, toast with jam, or even a glass of orange juice. But here's the truth, most people don't know these foods are often packed with sugar, even the ones labeled low-fat or all-natural. And sugar, especially in the morning, is a silent thief. It gives you a quick burst of energy followed by a sharp crash. That crash is what makes your legs feel weak before lunch. It's what brings on the foggy thinking by mid-morning. It's what causes the tightness in your calves or the aching in your knees that seems to appear out of nowhere. But it doesn't stop there. A study from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society showed that seniors who regularly consumed high glycemic breakfasts had significantly higher risks of developing type 2 diabetes, inflammation, and heart issues over time. And yet, you don't have to give up breakfast. You just have to change what's on your plate. Instead of starting your day with sugar, try foods that support stable energy and stronger muscles. Think eggs with vegetables, plain oatmeal with cinnamon and walnuts, cottage cheese with a handful of berries, or even a slice of avocado toast with a sprinkle of sea salt. These meals support your brain, they strengthen your legs, they give your heart steady fuel. And they don't lead to those terrible blood sugar crashes that steal your energy and mood. If you love fruit in the morning, choose berries. They're lower in sugar, rich in antioxidants, and much gentler on your blood vessels. The first thing you eat in the morning sets the tone for your entire day. So give your body something it can truly use, something that builds strength instead of stealing it. Now let's take a look at what happens when we stay sitting too long right after waking and how it silently affects your circulation and balance. Sitting too long right after waking. Now here's something that seems completely harmless, but over time it can quietly weaken your body in ways you might not even notice at first. Many of us wake up and go straight to the kitchen table, or we sit on the couch, turn on the TV, scroll through the phone, or read the paper. It feels cozy, familiar. But staying seated for too long right after waking can work against your body, especially after age 60. Here's why. When you sleep, your circulation slows, your joints stiffen, your muscles relax. That's normal. It's part of your body's rest cycle. But when you wake up and stay sitting, your muscles don't get a chance to turn back on. This affects something important called your muscle pump. Your legs rely on small muscle contractions to push blood back up to your heart. If you stay seated too long in the morning, your blood pools in your legs. That's why your feet may feel swollen, your ankles ache, or your knees creak more than usual. And that's not all. Prolonged sitting, especially early in the day, can raise your blood pressure, stiffen your lower back, and contribute to brain fog. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that seniors who spent the first hour of their day seated had significantly lower mobility scores, slower walking speeds, and more complaints of fatigue throughout the day. So what can you do? Try this gentle routine instead. After waking and drinking your water, spend 3 to 5 minutes moving your body. Nothing intense. Just walk around your bedroom. Stretch your arms overhead. Do 10 gentle toe taps. Roll your shoulders. Flex your ankles while brushing your teeth. These simple movements awaken your balance system, stimulate blood flow, and tell your muscles we're starting the day. Even standing at the sink and shifting your weight from one foot to the other helps. Movement doesn't have to be exercise, it just has to be consistent. Think of it as turning the lights back on in your body. Your knees, your heart, your brain, they all function better when you begin the day with motion. Now that your legs are warm and your circulation is flowing, let's look at a common morning supplement mistake, one that could quietly raise your risk of stroke or confusion. Taking the wrong vitamins at the wrong time. Vitamins are supposed to help us, And they can. But what most people don't realize, especially after age 60, is that taking the wrong kind of vitamins at the wrong time can quietly put your health at risk. Let's take vitamin D, for example. It's essential for bone health, immune strength, and muscle function. But here's what many seniors don't know. Taking high doses of vitamin D without medical supervision, especially at night or on an empty stomach, can raise calcium levels in your blood. When calcium builds up in your arteries, it can lead to stiffness, high blood pressure, or in severe cases, even a stroke. One study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that older adults who took more than 4,000 IU of vitamin D per day without medical guidance were significantly more likely to develop vascular issues. And that's not all. Vitamins like E, B6, and niacin can interact with blood pressure medications, blood thinners, or heart prescriptions, creating unexpected side effects like dizziness, bleeding, or confusion. So what should you do? First, never assume that more is better when it comes to supplements. Always talk to your doctor or pharmacist about your specific needs, especially if you're taking medications. Second, always take your vitamins in the morning, after you've had something to eat. This helps your body absorb them more effectively and reduces the risk of side effects. Third, read your labels. Many multivitamins contain doses far beyond what's necessary. For example, you may only need 800 IU of vitamin D daily, yet the bottle says 5,000 IU per serving. And finally, whenever possible, try to get your nutrients from food. Real food provides the co-nutrients your body needs to use vitamins correctly. A slice of salmon, a boiled egg, a bowl of greens, these nourish your body in ways that pills never can fully replicate. Vitamins can be powerful allies, but only if used wisely. So before you reach for that bottle tomorrow morning, pause. Take a moment, check your dosage, and make sure it's truly helping, not harming. Up next, let's explore a habit that seems cozy and safe, but can secretly slow down your circulation, digestion, and even your sleep-wake rhythm. Staying in bed after you're awake. Have you ever woken up in the morning, opened your eyes, and just laid there? Maybe you pull the blanket tighter, you stare at the ceiling, you wait for the energy to come before you get up. It feels harmless, maybe even relaxing. But here's something many people don't realize. Staying in bed too long after you're awake can slowly work against your body, especially after 60. Let me explain why. When you wake up, your body starts shifting into active mode. Your blood pressure rises slightly. Your muscles prepare to move. Your internal clock, called the circadian rhythm, begins its next cycle. This is the natural rhythm your body relies on to feel alert during the day and sleepy at night. But when you stay in bed too long while awake, especially for more than 30 to 45 minutes, you disrupt that rhythm. What happens next? Your metabolism slows. Your digestion stalls. Your brain stays foggy. Your body stays stiff. And by the time you finally get up, you may feel groggy, achy, and unsteady on your feet. Some seniors even describe it as feeling off balance or not fully awake for hours. And over time, this habit may lead to a delayed sleep schedule, meaning you fall asleep later at night, don't sleep as deeply, and wake up less refreshed. So what's the solution? It's simple and gentle. When you wake up and know you're not going back to sleep, give yourself a few minutes to stretch. Wiggle your toes, roll your wrists. Take some deep, slow breaths. Then sit up slowly. Let your feet rest on the floor. Stand up gently. This helps regulate your internal clock. It improves blood flow. And it prepares your body for a more energized, focused day. Your bed is for sleep and rest. Once you're awake, stepping into motion, even slowly, tells your body it's time to begin again. Now let's talk about a small detail that can have a big impact on your safety and your strength. What you put on your feet. Wearing the wrong slippers or going barefoot. This might surprise you, but one of the most overlooked causes of morning pain, leg weakness, or even falls is what you wear on your feet or don't wear at all. Many older adults love to shuffle around the house in cozy slippers, or sometimes just go barefoot on smooth floors. It feels comfortable, familiar, but it may also be quietly dangerous. You see, after age 60, the padding on the bottom of our feet naturally gets thinner. Our joints are more sensitive. Our ankles lose some of their flexibility. And our balance, especially first thing in the morning, is not quite what it used to be. Now add a slick tile floor, soft slippers with no support, or cold bare feet, and the risk of a fall rises quickly. In fact, a study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that more than 50% of at-home falls in older adults were linked to improper footwear or no footwear at all. And even if you don't fall, the wrong shoes can affect your posture, your knee joints, and your leg strength. Unsupported shoes allow your feet to roll inward or outward, putting strain on your ankles, knees, and hips over time. That's part of why your legs may feel tired after only a short amount of walking, or why your lower back aches by mid-morning. So what can you do? First, choose slippers with a solid, non-slip sole. They should have good arch support, a closed back that grips your heel, and enough cushion to protect your joints. Avoid floppy, flat slippers or ones with slick bottoms. And steer clear of flip-flops which offer no support and often cause stumbling. If you love being barefoot, try to limit it to soft, carpeted areas and only for short periods. Better yet, use supportive house shoes you can slip on easily in the morning. Your feet are the foundation of your balance. And what you put on them first thing in the morning matters far more than most people realize. It may not feel like a big deal, but over weeks and months, proper footwear can mean stronger legs, fewer falls, and a steadier sense of confidence. Now let's look at something even more subtle, what your mind focuses on right after you wake up. Starting the day with worry or negative news. You open your eyes, sit up, and reach for your phone. Or maybe you turn on the TV. And before you even take your first steps, you're reading bad news, hearing about politics, war, disease, or something stressful in the world. Sound familiar? It's something many people do without thinking. But here's what science now shows clearly. What you expose your mind to in the first 30 minutes of your day has a powerful effect on your stress hormones, blood pressure, and even your long-term health. A study by the University of Pennsylvania found that people who started their day with 3 minutes of negative news were 27% more likely to report feeling unhappy, anxious, or overwhelmed 6 to 8 hours later. Why does this matter? Because chronic stress, especially in the morning, raises your cortisol levels. That means your blood vessels constrict, your heart rate increases, and your muscles tighten. Over time, this contributes to heart disease, brain fog, memory problems, and even poor digestion. But that's not all. Starting the day with worry or anxiety also trains your brain to scan for problems. It puts your body in a fight or flight state even when there's no real danger. And this makes your steps feel heavier, your chest feel tighter, and your mood feel more fragile. So what's the alternative? Start your day in peace. Before reaching for a screen, try sitting quietly for a few moments. Take 3 deep breaths. Look out the window. Say a gentle prayer or affirmation. Think of something you're grateful for: your home, your breath, your family, your memories. This small shift can improve your balance, your focus, and your emotional well-being. You don't have to avoid the news forever. Just wait until your body and mind are awake, nourished, and grounded. Then you can choose what you want to let in. Now let's talk about the final habit, one that sounds almost invisible but has a big effect on your leg strength and energy throughout the day. Skipping morning muscle activation. Here's something very few people talk about. After a night of stillness, your muscles, especially in your legs, are cold, stiff, and slightly asleep. And when you go straight into the day without waking them up, it sets the stage for weakness, stiffness, and even pain that can last all day. This is especially true after age 60 when muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, becomes more pronounced. Now imagine you go from sleeping to walking to the bathroom, then to the kitchen, and you haven't activated your muscles. What happens? Your knees might feel wobbly, your feet may not clear the ground well, your balance is unsteady, you feel slower, more vulnerable, and your risk of falling quietly increases. But here's the good news. Activating your muscles in the morning doesn't require a gym or a long workout. It takes less than 3 minutes. Try this simple routine while standing at your kitchen counter. Start with 10 slow heel raises. Lift up on your toes, hold, and lower down slowly. Then 10 toe raises. Rock back on your heels and lift your toes. Then march in place for 20 steps. Finally, squeeze your glutes, your bottom muscles, for 5 seconds. Do this 5 times. That's it. You've now reactivated the major muscle groups responsible for walking, balance, and climbing stairs. Studies show that doing even light resistance movement in the morning improves circulation, increases energy, and lowers the risk of falling later in the day. It's a simple reset, a way to tell your muscles, "I'm here, let's move today." Now let's bring everything together and remind ourselves of the most important truth of all. Reclaiming your morning one gentle change at a time. Let's pause for a moment. You've now learned about 7 morning habits that can quietly shorten your life after 60 and, more importantly, how to gently shift them. You might be thinking, that's a lot to change. But here's what I want you to know deep in your heart. You don't have to change everything overnight. Start with one small shift. Maybe tomorrow morning you reach for water before coffee. Or you move your feet before sitting for too long. Maybe you change your slippers. Or breathe deeply before looking at the news. That one change is enough to begin a new path, a better one. One where your mornings feel calmer, your legs feel steadier, your mind feels clearer. Aging doesn't mean decline. It means wisdom. It means knowing what your body truly needs and offering it with love. Your mornings still belong to you. Your life still holds strength, meaning, and movement. You are not alone. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are capable. You are worthy of care. And your body, even now, is waiting to respond to these small acts of support. So wake up tomorrow with kindness, with hope, with the knowledge that healing doesn't have to be hard, it just has to begin. And it already has. Stay strong, stay gentle, and remember, you are more powerful than you've been told.